Hello, cyberspace. It's me, Angie, and I welcome both you and your ears to an episode of Life, Love, Music, and Space Travel. In case you're wondering who Angie is, I'm Angie, and I'm super stoked to spend some time sharing with y'all some of my experiences and thoughts on living, loving, music, and space travel, or spiritual experiences as I often refer to as space travel. A rather broad spectrum, right? Well, my hope is to always share something that resonates with, intrigues, excites, or perhaps inspires you. On that note, I invite you to sit back, buckle up, and take a little trip out into the cosmos with me. Hello, cyberspace. It's me, Angie, coming to you with episode number 36 of my podcast, Life, Love, Music, and Space Travel. I'm coming to you on Friday night. It's actually about 11:21, and it's day 364 of 2022. Holy shit. I mean, 2022 on its own seems sci-fi-ish. Ever since we hit 2020, it's been pretty much a sci-fi movie for the most part. A terrible, tragic, dark, black comedy style sci-fi movie. It's almost the end of 2022, and we're about to head into 2023. 364 days in, one more day, and the new chapter begins. This is probably going to be a jumble of jabber-jawing because I have so much stuff on my mind. First of all, as I mentioned, it's about 11:22 Friday night, and I'm home sitting in my bedroom. Furry babes, one at the end of the bed, one in his basket, as usual, which it's been for me this last year. Instead of going out and doing any sort of, quote, celebrating, I'm going to play it low key. It's been a really kind of a strange last few weeks. This is also number 3 of my Triple Whammy holiday series. Number 3 of the Triple Whammy. The first one being Thanksgiving, then going into Christmas and New Year's. It can be a pretty overwhelming series of events for a lot of people. I'm pretty sure for most of us here on the planet, it's tumultuous times, lots of joy mixed in also. But these times of year, at least for me, I can really only speak for myself. This time of year is challenging. And these last few weeks have definitely been a bit overwhelming. So as I reflect on 2022, holy crap, what a wild ride it's been. I always feel like this time of year for me, the way the 365 goes, I've got a lot to learn in each year. I have the opportunity to learn a lot in each year. Whether I choose to learn, it's really a choice. And these last many years, I've actually been pretty hip to the learning idea, the learning experience, because it just seems to give life so much more purpose. All the ups and downs, all the challenges feel a whole lot more purposeful because they're guaranteed. So anyway, as we come to the end of the year, I feel like it's crunch time, kind of. And this year did not disappoint as well. These last few days have presented me with some last minute opportunities to cope for sure, handle life differently. And I got to say, I'm pretty fucking proud of myself. I have behaved in a manner over the last few weeks and even just literally the last couple days in a way I didn't think was kind of capable. And it's just showing me how much growth has really taken place, and I'm pretty stoked about that. I will say, loosely, it'll probably tie in. I believe I'm titling this episode The Triple Whammy Part 3. Out with the old and in with the new. And oh yeah, divorce sucks. Yes, it does. That being said, I'm forging forward like the warrior that I am, the badass warrior that I am. I don't mean to sound egoic or, really like patting myself on the back, but I am going to pat myself on the back for all women, men, anyone out there going through relationship challenges, loss, change, whatever it is. If you're still here forging forward in the face of great challenges, you too are a badass. And don't let anybody tell you differently. I don't do it perfectly. I don't walk gracefully through all the experiences, that's for sure. But I've definitely gained some grace. And thank goodness I'm going to give props to the higher power. All my friends out there who support me, who have helped me along the way. I couldn't do this without you. I'm going to start this off with, here we are at an end of another 365. I do like to reflect on what the year has been like. And this year, it's easy, generally, I would imagine, not just for me, but it's easy to think of all, really the challenges alone. And I don't know. I try not to stay in the negative space too long, even though I had some challenges this last week, but we'll get into that later. So as I reflect over the last 364 days, because that's really where I am, here's some of the things that I did. And I definitely, I invite you to reflect on your last 364. By the time you listen to this, we might be into the new year already, but take the time to reflect. I've been told often to take the opportunity to reflect on my growth, not just yesterday or last week, but when I started on a journey of growth. Go back to that time and think about how much stuff has taken place in between. And if you just started on your journey of growth last week, then go to last week. But so much has happened for me. I've really grown and changed, and I'm incredibly grateful for my journey of recovery and self-discovery. That being said, in this last 364, I started a podcast. I did. And I think I was looking through my journal, or my calendar on the phone, actually. It was sometime around February. So I'm not at a year yet, but I started it in 2022. I went to Podfest. I went and learned about this whole podcasting thing. It was absolutely fantastic. My friend Alex joined me, and he's actually the person who introduced me to it. Listen to the builder's journey. Stay open-minded for sure. But he's definitely been the person who has spurred me on through this whole thing and definitely been my cheerleader. And I thank you, Alex. So we went to Podfest together, and we're going together again next month, starting off 2023 with my buddy Alex in Orlando. And I'm pretty excited about it. I also went to Jazz Fest in New Orleans by myself. It was spectacular. What a incredible way to sort of begin 2022. It was in April, and it had been put off because it was supposed to be in October, and it was actually supposed to be in April prior to that. But the trip was really a trip of a lifetime for me. I had never been to New Orleans. I'd never been to anything like Jazz Fest, and it was amazing, and I can't wait to go again. I soaked up a lot of music last year. I got to see Widespread Panic, Dave Matthews Band, Fish. I saw countless other concerts, and I look forward to continuing my musical adventures in the new year as well. Let's see. I joined the gym, and then I quit the gym. And actually, super sad, I joined it, went for a short period of time, and actually I started working, so my schedule changed. But I stopped going to the gym, and I did not cancel my membership. Shame on me. I wasted $20 a month and finally canceled it. Yes, I did cancel it. I found a therapist. Yeah, I'm going to throw that in there as well. I've really been enjoying my therapist. I'm actually going to go see him on Monday, and I've got plenty of stuff to talk to him about, but that's been a fantastic piece of an additional tool in my toolbox. I got a job, and then I kind of quit the job, asked him to take me off the schedule. But then I restarted my eBay business. I love doing it. I don't talk about it a whole lot on here. I'll probably start to expand some more. But yeah, I have an eBay store, Shy Girls Shop. I've had it for almost 15 years. I sell a little bit of everything. It's great. Most of my stuff has been packed up in a shipping container and sitting in Charlotte for the last 2 years when I began my adventure of transitioning from my life in Colorado to North Carolina. A lot of it is my regular life stuff, but a good portion of it is my store. And I sell everything from cookie jars to old Birkenstocks. I have a ton of vinyl, media, books, paperbacks, clothes, old vintage ski wear. I really sell everything and just about anything, and I love it. It's been a fantastic way to bring in some extra money, and I'm actually presently doing it to try and make it my gig. Maybe I'll have a storefront someday, Shy Girls Shop, but it is also the proud sponsor of my podcast. Anyway, I'm grateful for it. Starting it back up has been wonderful. I'm keeping my stuff presently just like I did back in Colorado in the house. So thank you to Mom and Dad who are indulging me and allowing me to take over the sewing room and turn it into my eBay office. I continued to grow my spiritual life. Absolutely. That's what I did. I made it 20 years without a drink in June 6th of 2022. I celebrated 20 years without a drink. Holy shit. Yeah, that's how I really feel about that. And then in July 5th, I celebrated 4 years no weed. It's been a progressive process, this journey that I've been on, and I am grateful for and proud of every second of it, every messy bit of my process, for sure. Let's see. I found a ketamine clinic as I talk about recovery, which has been life-changing and life-saving. Yes, I found a place in Myrtle Beach, Future Psych Ketamine Clinic, and I'm super grateful for Angel and the rest of the staff there who are helping me to continue to grow and take care of my emotional well-being. We had definitely some sad points at the end of this year. My parents' furry babe, Haley, and my first sister, she leveled up, headed on to the great park in the sky, or perhaps moving up and helping to build the farm in the sky that the rest of us will eventually get to. It was definitely a sad point of the year, but I'm grateful that I got to be here and spend a bunch of time with her. That's just a few of the things that have taken place. Another chapter ending, a new one beginning. This is a special time of year. I feel like the whole planet, we're all aware that the 365 is coming to a close. Something that we're all in the process of acknowledging at the same time. And that's a really cool thing, I think. There's quite a bit of energy out there. A whole new year. I'm not a resolution kind of person. I'm actually at I'll call it the inspiration of my friend Billy. She was telling me some of her goals. She had a goal list, and I don't make resolutions. And in truth, I'm not much of a goal gal. I don't know what it is. It's the self-imposed pressure can get to me sometimes. But this year, I decided that I'm going to put together some goals. I think part of my ability to do that, or my interest in even doing that, has been brought on by my growth. I don't really feel a whole lot of pressure to, I don't want to say live up to my expectations, but if I don't follow through with all of them, that's okay. But if I don't have them, then I don't even have a chance of getting to them. So I made some goals, and they are for 2023 or before. I at this point I only have 2 days, but so I don't think I'm going to get to any of them before 2023 comes to a close. But I'm going to go over my list. And as I always mention, please, I'd love it. Find my website, www.lifelovemusicandspacetravel.com, and leave me a message and tell me what some of your goals are. I would love to share some of the stuff that you share with me on an episode of my podcast. Send me an email if you would like also. shyisbadass@gmail.com. Let's see. So my 2023 goals: lose 30 pounds. Yeah, that's been a goal for 5 or 10 years, or I don't know if it's been a goal, but it's definitely been on my mind. So a goal is to lose 30 pounds. And I am presently doing the Noom thing. For anyone who's familiar with Noom, I did it before. I really enjoy it. It has there's a lot of knowledge to be gained, and it's not about dieting. It is about lifestyle. It touches on a lot of stuff that resonates with me in the world of recovery. I'm aware of why I haven't lost the 30 pounds yet. In process, progress is perfection. I'd also like to go on a date. Yeah, at some point. I'm definitely not looking for anything serious, but I feel like in 2023, I'd like to go on a date. I'd also like to replenish my funds. I spent a fair amount of money in 2022, and I'm okay with that. But I would really like to replenish the funds. I'd like to get back to Colorado and clear out my storage unit. I'd love to get a podcast sponsor. Anyone listening, Headspace, Nugs.net, Audible, CashOrTrade.org. There's a lot of stuff out there. But I think it'd be pretty cool to get a podcast sponsor. I'm definitely going to visit upstate New York. Cynthia, Michelle, Shayna, Wendy, many, many, many other people out there. I am getting up to that part of the country. I still think every now and then that maybe that's where I'll end up part-time. I miss it. I do. I miss the mountains, the Adirondacks. That's where I grew up, the foothills of the Adirondacks. And I'm definitely looking forward to getting up there. I'd love to visit my cousin Ben and go snowboarding. My cousin Jock and go snowboarding, go back to Colorado with my buddy Dr. Dave and go snowboarding. Yeah, I think I want to go snowboarding. I'm planning on visiting the Asheville, Franklin area. I kind of toy with the idea of moving to, quote, the mountains of the East Coast, possibly. I'm going to interview my buddy Alex. I have yet to do an episode where there's anyone but me. And I'm going to interview Alex. He hears me. Listening to me, Alex, I'm going to interview you eventually. I would love to spend June, July, and August in Colorado working and playing. So if anyone has a space for me and my furry babes, that's on my list. And get physically fit. Physically fit has been... That's kind of one of those definitely long-term goals. But those are just a few things. I don't know. I feel pretty good about the list. It all seems pretty reasonable, rational, not something that I can't live up to. And if it's not in 2023, maybe it'll be in 2024 or some other time. But it feels kind of good to have some goals to work towards. I got a couple things in my, quote, gym, a jump rope. I got a yoga mat that maybe I'll use. Lots of possibilities. I'm pretty excited about the future. I'm actually really comfortable right now as well, sitting in my room instead of being out and about. I love, as I've mentioned so many times, I love live music, but I've had to be really honest with myself and allowing myself to be still, do something different, lay low. I have just not been feeling it in regards to being out amongst everybody. I don't want to pretend. I don't want to try and change the way I'm feeling. So I'm going to slow down for a minute because I'm going to delve into the area of, yes, out with the old, in with the new, and oh yeah, divorce sucks. So I had an experience that took place recently. As many people know, I have still been in contact with my ex-husband. It's actually been a wonderful gift. We hated each other for the most part, right up until almost the end, until the house changed hands. Overall, it was very challenging and very overwhelming. We had so much stuff to get rid of, and that last day, it was really like the last day, December 15th, we had stuff to get out. We were throwing stuff into a dumpster. It was overwhelming, and we came together. It really was a gift from God, for sure. It was a miracle. I'll call it a straight up miracle, because we really did. We were in a place of hating each other. And that broke my heart. It really, on top of the heart being broken from everything that was taking place, the fact that we hated each other, it crushed me every single day. So we came together. And from that point on, that's been a miracle as well. And one of the greatest gifts. I guess if we're not meant to be together for the rest of our days or in marriage, the friendship is priceless. We've been maintaining contact, and we still have some stuff to figure out and close out and take care of. But he's doing his thing, I'm doing my thing, and I've been okay with that. Well, recently, I guess he's got a girlfriend, and she reached out to me on Facebook, and it sort of threw me for a loop. He's actually been dating for a year. And I'm sure there are many out there who either have had this experience, know what it's like. I am pretty happy with how I handled it. But what it did was remind me that, man, I am divorced. Yeah, he's moved on and moved forward, and it made me think about a lot of stuff. I moved through the phase of kind of self-pity. There's just me, Angie, who's not in any way, shape, or form dating anybody or seeing anybody or anything like that. I thought I was over the grieving process. It's not like I'm thinking of wanting us back together. I mean, there's of course always a part of me. I'm pretty sure, well, I don't know. I feel like most divorced people probably feel that way to a certain extent, but it just reminded me that this grieving process is kind of a never-ending deal. I know that goes for anyone who's dealt with some form of loss. The physical loss of a person, a loved one who's transitioned on to the next great adventure of their own, whatever it is, family members, friends, a job change. I mean, there's so much stuff that comes in, and grief is such a big part of the healing experience. So I guess I needed some more healing to do, because this one just made me sad. I found I was feeling quite sad about the whole thing. I feel like I reassured her and let her know he's not reached out to me for anything. You know, we have stuff together. We have dogs together. We spent 18 years together. That's a long time to be with somebody. And I am incredibly grateful that we no longer hate each other. I don't plan on ending our connection together, and I'm not a threat to this person by any means. And I hope she understands that. If she doesn't, that's kind of on her, and I wish them the best. I really do. That being said, I don't want to be sad anymore. I don't want to be sad anymore. Divorce. Here's to all y'all out there dealing with divorce. My heart goes out to you. Anyone who's dealt with it, going through it. It's not easy. And I can often put on the superwoman cape and have these expectations for myself that I ought to get over it, be past it, be finished with it. And I can minimize the experience. 18 years is a long time. It's a long time to spend with somebody. And we had a lot of really great times in there, for sure. I would not change one bit of it, even though we had a lot of not so great times in there. But that was a time in my life that didn't just disappear because we're divorced. Anyway, for whatever that's worth, it's just a very strange. It's been a strange time. So that was just a couple days ago that this person reached out, and I thought, oh my gosh, I can't get through the end of the year without one more challenge. But I really do feel like I handled it with grace and just a little more letting go, a little more acceptance, a little more moving on, out with the old. What's old? moving into this, kind of what's old for me, people pleasing. Also, in this particular case, I did kind of set a boundary that unless he asks me to not contact him anymore for some reason, I'm definitely going to stay in contact with my ex-husband. The friendship I'm incredibly grateful for it. People pleasing. I'm not going to cow to, be a doormat to anybody. I actually had another experience that took place on Christmas Eve, some challenges with a family member that was not very fun at all. Christmas Eve, of course, that's just par for the course. I mean, come on, challenges got to come at the times when things are just supposed to be beautiful. That was another area where I feel like I did not succumb to people pleasing. Out with the old. That's old behavior for me. No people pleasing there. I'm accepted it for the most part. I feel like I stood my ground. I set a boundary of sorts. I'm not sure how the other person feels about it, but I feel pretty good about it. I'm not going to shame myself. That's old stuff too. Out with that old stuff. Not shaming Angie for feeling what she's feeling, for making mistakes, for maybe not saying the right thing, not doing the right thing. I don't know. No more shaming of myself, and no more believing others' bullshit. I mean, all of these things are actually way old. I don't do them so much anymore, but that's kind of a continuous thing. Out with the old, especially believing others' bullshit. What other people think about me is none of my business. And sometimes what they say is just bullshit. It's just noise. So to fall prey to personalizing too much is old stuff. What's new? I kind of think I have just my quote. I'm going to keep it simple. Genuinely practicing embracing the idea of everything being perfectly imperfect. Life is, at least my life is, imperfect. It's messy and it's confusing and it's challenging and overwhelming and exciting and pretty adventurous. And I can say all those things while I could look at it like, yeah, I've mentioned it many times. I'm like, I'm 51, living with mom and dad, bedroom in their house. I don't have my own place, blah, blah, blah. But these are all choices that I've made. And life is really, there's so many possibilities. That to me is exciting. It's perfectly imperfect. A friend reached out to me on Facebook recently and just said, hope you're doing well. And I responded with something that I respond with quite a lot. People are not doing what I want them to do, and life is not the way I want it to be. That's the truth. And yet, life is better than anything I would have or could have put together for myself. So yeah, ego-driven, just at my core, things are not the way I want them to be. In an ideal, perfect world where I could be 10 places at the same time, living in one place and able to click my heels and be there and live there and be here. And that's not possible. When I get out of my own way and just look at life for what it is, it's pretty fucking fantastic. It really is. And yes, it's the way it is right now. Even having gotten divorced, had to move from Colorado, everything about my life changed. Everything I was afraid of happening happened in the last, let's say, year and 2 months. Last 14 months. Everything I was afraid of happened. And I'm here. Moving right along, plugging along, finding happiness. Doing this life thing. It's pretty fucking wonderful, I have to say. I am excited. I'm excited about what is yet to come. I have definitely been jabbering on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into kind of closing it out here. And as I usually do, I'm going to jump into pod decks and answer a couple questions that are focused specifically on the new year. I love pod decks. Ooh, maybe I could get Poddex as a sponsor because I do talk about them all the time. I'm going to talk to Travis when I go to Podfest because I'm pretty sure he's going to be there. So let's see. Here's one question. This is out of the New Year, New You deck. I think it pertains to every year. Do you set goals at the beginning of each year? Not until this year. And I am pretty excited. I definitely went through like the resolution idea. I'm going to do this. I'm going to work out. I'm going to eat differently, blah, blah, blah. I don't do any of that stuff anymore because it's usually just like a quick fix idea. Instead, lifestyle change. So yeah, I went through my goals. You heard them. Thanks for indulging me, as I mentioned. And please share your goals with me. This is a new thing for me in 2022, 2023. I'm setting some goals. New Year travel goals. What are the top 5 places you'd love to visit? I'm just going to go top 3, I think. I do love to travel. And where I'd like to go is upstate New York. I want to go back to my old stomping grounds. I want to see some people. I want to check out the area and see how I feel about it. I also want to go to Colorado. Of course, I love Colorado. I feel like maybe I could live 3 places. I could live in New York, I could live in North Carolina, and Colorado. And then the third, I feel like I'd really like to go to Italy. Yeah, I feel like I'd like to go to Italy. I am Italian, and there's some different places that I feel like I'd like to check out. I don't know if that's a possibility, but that's on my list. All right, here is the next question. Did you read any great books this past year? Did I read any good books last year? I talk about, anybody who listens to me, I talk about the books that I'm reading, and I'm just going to throw a few out there. I'm repeating myself, but I'm actually presently listening to Braving the Wilderness by Brene Brown, and it is also narrated by Brene Brown, and it's fantastic. I love Brene. I'm kind of new to her stuff over the last few years, but I love it, and I love that she narrates her own stuff. She's got just a great message, and she's got a powerful story. So yes, Braving the Wilderness by Brene Brown. I also have listened to Almost Interesting. Because I love David Spade. Yeah, I still have a crush on David Spade. If you're listening, David Spade, I do listen to you and Dana Carvey. Fly on the Wall. If anyone else hasn't listened to their podcast, it's also very interesting. They do a lot of interviews, I think, with a lot of the Saturday Night Live cast, but it's well worth listening to. David is funny, and if you like him, you'll like Almost Interesting. I listened to The Body Keeps a Score by Bessel A. van der Kolk. It's about recovering or dealing with trauma, PTSD, and that kind of stuff. Very powerful, pretty heavy stuff. Life-changing for me. I had a pretty life-changing therapy session over the last few weeks, and it was directly related to some of the stuff that I had been listening to in The Body Keeps a Score. And I thank my friend Robin for suggesting the book to me a long time ago. It took me a long time to listen to it, but I finally got to it. Living from a Place of Surrender by Michael Singer. Yes, I have listened to that probably 5 or 6 times now, and it is well worth every second. Life-changing, I will say. If you're into spiritual growth, if you're into finding a way to live life in a more peaceful manner and accepting it as it is, the place that he comes from makes it it's a very doable process, and it's changed my life. Let's see, Walking Each Other Home by Mirabai Bush and Ram Dass, and it's actually narrated by both of them also. It's a great book on living and dying. It's a fantastic book. Take a listen to that. The Untethered Soul, of course, by Michael Singer. Definitely got to read that. Let's see, what else? Oh, I'm going to put this out there. Fairy Tale by Stephen King. I love Stephen King. If you're a Stephen King fan, you cannot. This was very relatable to something like The Talisman. It was absolutely, absolutely wonderful. It was a great story filled with horror and fantasy and a wonderfully hopeful stuff as well. Just like all of his stuff is good and evil, kind of. But I definitely say listen to that. I listened to Love Warrior by Glennon Doyle. and I highly suggest that as well. Just a wonderful memoir. Well worth. She's got a lot of great stuff to share. Oh, what else have I got in here? A Polaroid Guy in a Snapchat World. That's another David Spade book, and it's funny stuff. The Storyteller by Dave Grohl. Definitely, if you are a music fan, listen. It's been a while. I'm going to have to re-listen to that. The Storyteller by Dave Grohl. It was really spectacular. I think that's it for now on the books. I've definitely got a lot of stuff in there, but that's my list for now. Plenty of reading fodder. And I actually did also recently help my mom sign up for Libby. Does everyone else out there know about Libby? It's the library app. And so for those of you who maybe don't want to join Audible or have a paid for book subscription, you can download books on Libby. You just have to have a library card. You can listen to pretty much everything. You can either get it Kindle style or you can listen to it audiobook wise. And I use my Audible app pretty regularly, so I haven't used it yet. But I did sign up for it, and I did go through the process, and I am excited about using it. Let's see if I have something else here for... Oh, next question. What was your biggest challenge this past year? I'm going to say that my biggest challenge in 2022 has been accepting that I'm here in North Carolina. I guess maybe it all kind of encompasses everything. My biggest challenge has been just continuing to sit in this place of I'm not married anymore. I don't live in Colorado anymore. I don't have a house of my own anymore. My work life is totally different. Everything is different and does not look the way I want it to. And people are not doing what I want them to do. That has been my biggest challenge. And with the help of many of those books that I just mentioned, along with a continued practice of reaching out, staying in touch with my peeps, continuing to connect with my higher power, going to see a therapist, continuing with my ketamine infusions, that's all been helping me to be okay with life not being the way I want it to be. I mean, it sounds so silly when I say it. Life is not the way I want it to be. Boo hoo. I don't mean to sound like get over it, but I can chuckle at it and say, gosh, if I can just get out of my own way and really let go of my little plans and designs and just really settle into life the way it is, it's fucking perfect. It's perfectly imperfect. Yeah, my biggest challenge last year, and I kind of think it'll continue to be a challenge this year, will just be being okay with not knowing also what's coming. What a wild ride. Let's see. Do you prefer to spend New Year's Eve in sequins or sweatpants? I'm going to say sweatpants. I have a feeling that maybe there will come a time when, I don't know if I'll wear sequins, but that I will celebrate New Year's in a style that is different from the way I'm celebrating it now. Actually, I used to work many New Year's Eves. So I used to actually wear black pants and a white shirt and an apron. And I was serving champagne or light appetizers to people. That's usually the way I've spent New Year's Eve for many, many years, always working. But this year and last year I spent it on the couch with my parents, and this year I'm pretty sure I'm going to spend it the same way, on the couch with my parents, and I'm pretty happy with that. Dogs by my side, probably watch the ball drop in the next question. Actually, this is it. Do I like to watch the Times Square ball drop on TV? Yes, I do. I will admittedly say, though, over the last many years, I always like watching it for the musical stuff, but I'm getting old, I guess, and I don't know a lot of the people who are on there. I don't know many of the musicians anymore, so it's really not the same. And I kind of watch it go back and forth from California with the West Coast one to the East Coast one, but I'm sure I'll probably watch some of it. And then the last question, Do you think you'll be kissing anyone at midnight this New Year's Eve? Well, I'm definitely going to be kissing Marshmallow and Chippy. For sure. Maybe I'll give my mom and dad a kiss, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be doing any smooching, any real kissing, and that's okay. Maybe I'll get more kisses in the new year. I don't know. I really can't recall a New Year's Eve anytime recently when I had any sort of a romantic kiss, and that's okay. That's okay. When the time is right, yeah. Next thing, as I mentioned, I'm looking for a date on Christmas, not on Christmas Eve. I'm looking for a date in 2023. David Spade, if you're interested, I am here. All right. On that note, here's to the new year. First and foremost, please, everybody, I say it every night of the year, but especially tomorrow, don't drink and drive. Please be careful. Take an Uber. And if you're in an Uber, I don't know, be there with your friends. Be safe. Be safe. I want you to go into the new year. I mean, it's a day it's a night for celebration for sure, but please be safe. Have a great time. Celebrate safely. I don't mean to sound all preachy, but please be safe out there. 2023. I can hardly believe it. I'm not necessarily into numerology, but it's a 7 year, I think, right? You add all those numbers together, 2023, and they equal 7. I hope, because my math skills are terrible sometimes. So 7 has always been an interesting number for me. Here's to the new year. The triple whammy. We all made it through. At least if you're listening to this, you made it through. For those of you who have lost family members, who are going through challenges, keep going. It's worth every second of making your way through. You can do it. And yeah, it sucks and the feelings suck and all that stuff, but figure out what you need to do to stay on this planet for as long as you can. I think as long as we're supposed to be here. It is a wild ride that will be over with before you know it. So find yourself a therapist. If you need to find some sort of a 12-step meeting or fellowship somewhere, do that. Hey, Colorado has psilocybin now and MDMA, and they're doing all kinds of stuff with mental health that's new, and ketamine. I'm not a doctor, so understand that. Definitely check it out. Talk to your doctor, but it's been life-changing and life-saving for me. Take care of your mental health. You are worth it. And this earthly experience is worth it. And on that note, I'd sing Auld Lang Syne, but I'm not going to. But Happy New Year. If you're listening to this after New Year's, I thank you for listening. And I hope your new year is going great. I would love to hear from any of you out there. Share your stuff with me. Remember, you're not alone. And let's enjoy the next chapter, the wild ride that is going to be presented to us as we continue another trip around the sun. Thanks for listening. Bye. So we've reached the end of today's episode. Thanks so very much for listening. It's now time to reconnect to planet Earth and all that comes with living on the blue ball. I'd love to hear your ideas for future episode topics, along with any and all positive and or constructive feedback. Please feel free to contact me at ashysbadass@gmail.com. Thanks again for spending some time with me and allowing me to share myself with you. Until next time, please be gentle with yourselves, be kind to animals, and do all you can to allow your authentic selves to shine brightly.